Welcome to Studio A, MCTV's original variety show, starring Tyler McGuigan, Maggie Roach, Chris Smith, and Gabby Guerrero. Tonight's trending topics panel, Chelsea Columbus and Eva Layden. Our special guest, Zach Garron, and a musical performance by Brittany Reinert. Now please, welcome your host, Tyler McGuigan.
Hello, it is good to be back in the studio. It was over a month ago when we filmed our last episode, which at the time of this recording still hasn't been finished due to the craziness that school has been with all the assignments we've been getting and the campus pause that was enacted and still technically hasn't been fully lifted. We still need to finish filming the cold open, so if you see that there are changes in the length of my hair between scenes, well, now you know why. God, I really need a haircut, but I just gotta keep it this way for just a little while longer. That episode is gonna be so out of date by the time it comes out. Like, everything we talk about is old news. Just to put it in perspective for you guys, in that episode, we speculated about what the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was gonna be like, and now the show just had its season finale. Anyway, we're back now, so hopefully we'll get this episode to you guys quicker than the last one. All right, moving on. The biggest award show happened last night, the 93rd Annual Academy Awards. I gotta say, this one was very disappointing. And yeah, that's usually the case, apart from last year. But I think this one was by far the worst Oscars I've seen. Other than not having the best selection of films to pick from, the whole presentation and format of the show was just terrible. I mean, they had it in a damn train station. It was so awkward. The presenters would have to stand in the middle of the room and have to turn around to try to find the people they were talking about. Also, this year proved once again that not having a host really hurts the show. There's just no joy or fun in the Oscars anymore. Everyone is so serious. Like, okay, we get it. Get off your high horse. You guys literally play make-believe for a living. The Oscars desperately need someone like Kevin Hart or Chris Rock to come in and spice things up again. It's like they forget that there's a whole world of people out there tuning in to watch who have no connection to these celebrities. You still gotta entertain us too. We just wanna see our favorite films of the year get the recognition they deserve, which rarely happens at the Oscars anymore, and also maybe hear some good jokes along the way. Also, what the fuck was up with that order of awards this year? Why did they give out the award for Best Picture before Best Actress and Actor? It's supposed to be the last award of the night because it's the one everyone wants to see. Originally, I thought maybe it was because they were gonna give Best Actor to Chadwick Boseman and they wanted to end the night with that, and that would have made sense. It would have been a great way to honor the actor who tragically passed away last year, but no, that's not what happened. Instead, they gave Best Actor to Anthony Hopkins, who wasn't even there to accept the award. So the final award of the night did not have an acceptance speech. They literally just announced the winner and said, okay, good night, everybody. That's it? Are you kidding me? Now, I didn't see The Father, but I heard Hopkins gave a great performance, and he probably really did deserve the award, but the guy has won an Oscar already, and that was Chadwick Boseman's last chance to win an Oscar, and giving the final award to someone who isn't even there is just like a giant FU to the audience. The Oscars don't even really matter anymore. It's all rigged. But just give it to Boseman, and then you could have had a nice moment where maybe his family comes up to accept the award for him, and would have been a great highlight of the show. But no, he didn't get the Oscar, and now he never will. Thanks, Academy. I'm always prepared to be disappointed by the Oscars, but this year especially was a letdown. Whoever planned the show this year needs to be fired. You guys need to do better. All right, well, we will have plenty more to talk about in regards to the Oscars on the panel this episode, and I've already said enough, so we gotta move on with the show. We have my good friend Zach Garron Coming on for an interview, we have another musical performance. We're bringing back the bi-weekly update with 2 new hosts, and we got so much more. So stay tuned to see what we got in store for you. Tonight, our special guest is MCTV alum Zach Garron. Zach is joining us tonight to tell us a little bit about Munson Strong, a small-town tornado story, a documentary he is currently producing, directing, and editing. Please welcome Zach Garron.
Hi, Tyler. How's it going? Good.
It's going great. Now that you're here, anyway.
Oh, thanks.
For those of you who don't know, Zach is actually the previous director / producer of Studio A before Chelsea took over. Little MCTV trivia there. All right, let's get right into the interview. So Zach, can you give us a brief description of what is covered in the documentary?
So the documentary is about a tornado that happened in Western Massachusetts back in 2011, and it spanned about 39 miles from Westfield, if anyone knows this area at all the way east to, I believe it was called Charlton. And it lasted like a little over an hour and 10 minutes or so. But the documentary focuses on my hometown, Munson, and it hit the downtown area pretty bad. So we focused on 8 different interviews consisting of 9 people because one of them was a double interview. And we just talk about their personal stories that they went through during like that time and thereafter with like the cleanup and stuff. So we have people that lost their homes. We have others that focused a lot on community service afterwards, and then other people that just have more of an outside perspective of what happened, but still know like firsthand knowledge of the event and stuff.
Wow, pretty intense. So what inspired you to start this project?
So I was 13 and like in 7th grade when it happened. And I just remember like it really being a big deal because that doesn't really happen in the Northeast, let alone like hill towns and stuff. So it's going to be the 10-year anniversary this coming June 1st. So I thought it would be a nice kind of like tribute to the town to do a documentary on like the people that live there and how it affected them.
Wow, well, it sounds very nice. So I know it's been 10 years since this tornado hit, but what has it been like creating this documentary around the 10-year anniversary? Has it been like a interesting experience?
Yeah, it's been really nice because I'm also working on it with other alumni of the club. People probably know like Raphael, Andrew, Luke, Eliza, who's the president or was the president of the club, and then Sam has also helped a lot with it.
Great people.
And yeah, and it's also interesting to see like the recollection of other people's stories and how they didn't really know each other beforehand, but now all of them had like some small connection to each other, which we didn't know about like going into it originally. So it was cool to see how like even though they were all from different backgrounds, they still came together and had a great connection.
How long have you been working on this project?
So I originally pitched the idea to Raphael back in April of last year, I believe. And I really didn't start planning the logistical stuff of like setting up pre-interviews and stuff like that until I think the end of summer, beginning of fall. And then we filmed all of the interviews in the fall of 2020.
Wow. Well, I'm really excited to see this documentary. Do you have an estimate for when it'll come out?
As anyone that has done a documentary before knows that it's a lot of work. We have at least like 7 or 8 hours of interviews that we're currently going through. And we're hoping to have something to show everyone in the later half of 2021.
Awesome. So like just, you said something to show. You mean like you'll still have work?
Like the final thing will be done in 2021, but on the 10th anniversary, we're gonna have a small little tribute, commemoration video to show everyone.
Nice. Is there anything else that you would like to tell our viewers about the documentary?
Just that we had a lot of fun making it and just I hope everyone gets to see it soon.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Zach. You can follow the documentary's Instagram at Munson_tornado_doc. Up next, we're going to talk to our panelists, Eva and Chelsea, about the Oscars. We'll be right back after this short break. Joining us tonight to talk all things Oscars, we have Chelsea and Eva. Welcome, guys.
Hi. It's weird being on this side.
Yeah, I know. You're actually not directing right now for once. So last night was the 93rd annual Oscars, and there's a lot to talk about. But first, I want to see what you guys have to say about its presentation, like the actual ceremony. What did you guys think of the ceremony itself, and were there any moments that stood out to you?
I thought it was very weird. I know that they've kind of been steering away from having a host, but I feel like this time I didn't even know that the Oscars were starting. I thought they were just talking about the nominees in general, kind of like an opening bit thing, and then they were just and the Oscar goes to, and I was just not even aware that we were presenting a category.
I felt the same way. That was so weird.
Yeah, when Regina King was starting. Yeah, that was definitely, I was like, oh, okay. I saw a tweet that said that it looked like with the natural lighting, that it looked like just a bunch of high schoolers dressing up for the prom in their auditorium. And I was like, wow.
Right. That's true.
I was like, that made so much sense.
It was so, yeah, no, the whole venue was weird and awkward.
I just hope this isn't gonna be normal. I hope when we can go back to normal, they'll go and do a big shindig.
I think they will. They had that whole segment with Bryan Cranston, and he's in the theater that they're usually in, and he's like, oh, we want to get back in here as soon as we can. So I don't think this is gonna last.
I did like their the people who presented, though. I thought they really included more diversity. They had a lot of they had the deaf woman presenting. I forget her name, unfortunately, but she was in
yeah. Wait, and they had a deaf woman present?
Yeah, and it was really nice to see that kind of inclusion on screen, that kind of diversity, especially with the whole the Sound of Metal being nominated. I thought that was really a nice thing for them to do this year.
Yeah, and I think the guy who presented for Best Director was the same guy who won last year, and he was international, so they had a translator for him and everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
They usually have the winners from last year present the awards that they do, but they don't do that for I don't think they did that. They did that for Best Actor and Actress. Usually.
Yeah, I didn't remember them ever doing that until this year. I remember because before they used to have I remember my freshman year of college, they had Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph come and present the first award. So I think it was just overall a weird experience to
I agree.
this year to watch. I didn't even know that they were on. I feel like this year it was just it was the last thing people cared about was to watch the Oscars.
Yeah, it was I don't know. I didn't even really care about it this year because I didn't actually see any of the movies that were nominated for Best Picture.
Me either.
But I usually just like watching it just to see who wins, because I usually like watching whoever wins Best Picture. I usually like watching the film afterwards to see oh, why did this win?
Hey, we have seen 3 minutes of that one.
Actually, I just realized we're all in directing. Our professor showed us
watched
a little bit
that.
Of it.
Yeah, we watched 3 minutes of it.
Not really. We didn't really watch it. He was just showing us.
I do not remember
You
it.
probably weren't paying attention because it was on Zoom. So.
Oh yeah,
you're absolutely right. Oh, we shouldn't have that. We shouldn't have this in it. If Jordan.
Nope, this is staying in. This is staying in. Yeah.
But yeah, I it's definitely I'm gonna go and watch all of them. Most of the movies I had heard about.
Yeah.
I just feel I never got the time to actually go and see them or anything, especially with movies and stuff. When all these movies were coming out this year, you had to pay like $20 on like Amazon Prime to
True.
see it because you couldn't go to the theater and spend your normal $12, So, I don't know. I think I just didn't like give myself time to go and see them.
I have both of the shorts that won on my list now, and I have Crip Camp on my list because that one, in my opinion, should have won, just based on the small little things that I saw about it. I don't understand how My Octopus Teacher won. Someone explain it to me.
So I'm gonna hold off about talking about the actual winners.
Okay.
Because that's what the next panel topic is. But I agree. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like all I'm saying, I think they need to bring back the hosts. I think they need to have a host again because it's like they need someone to like lighten up the mood a bit. Like I feel like it's just so serious. Like none of these people like know how to.
Reese Witherspoon
was
trying to make jokes, and I was like, no.
You need like. I know no one likes Ellen anymore, but like when Ellen hosted the Oscars, like that was fun,
Yeah. I feel like if you're gonna have someone like it's so difficult. I feel like they were just having so much controversy around the time of the Oscars. So I feel like I feel like the first time they did without the host, I kind of liked it better. But now like this year, I feel like there was like, as you said, like it wasn't as funny. They didn't have that kind of stuff going on. I feel like that's kind of what's needed.
Yeah. Also, before we run out of time, I want to talk about like the ending of the show. What the hell was that? Like, why did they choose to have Best Picture like third to last?
Oh, I think we all know why. My eye is like freaking out right now. But yeah, it was a choice.
Yeah. A bad one.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about it, honestly.
I do want to say, because I wrote my monologue before like last night, so I didn't, but Anthony Hopkins like responded to like his win today, and he said like he didn't expect to win the Oscar as 83 years old. I think that was his quote. But yeah, I feel like they really should have just given it to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, didn't he like he said something to Chadwick Boseman's like family and stuff, and I think his brother released a statement. Chadwick Boseman's brother released a statement saying like, don't be mad at Anthony Hopkins or anything like that.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's not his fault. Yeah.
No, it's
wasn't
like
his fault
I feel like
at
people
all.
still will.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also think I don't understand that.
It's also because it ended so abruptly. It was like all of a sudden it was just like, okay, bye, thank you guys, and everyone was just like, oh, what a turnaround. Like, it still could have been as sentimental if Chadwick won. If they did it in the normal order, they still could have made it like a sentimental thing. But to make it last and then have it not work out, like that was such a 50-50 shot that they were kind of even less than, honestly, of him winning, and they still did it. I think it was a bad move. It was a bad move.
I also agree. I think it was a bad move. Anyway, we have to move on, unfortunately. I would love to talk about how shitty that show was, but next up, we have our crib segment. This week, Gabby Guerrero gave us a tour of her townhouse in Lower West Cedar. Let's roll the clip.
I'm Gabby, and welcome to my crib. So welcome to MCTV Cribs. This is Lower West S5, and so this is the living room. And as you can see, we have some fun and fresh posters. We have some pillows. They don't come with pillows, so I brought the pillows from home. So S5 is a little different than the other rooms in Lower West because we're connected to the electrical room. So we have two sides of the living room, but normally in Lower West you would have a bedroom. You would have one bedroom on the lower floor, and then you would have the rest of the bedrooms upstairs. But here we have two sides of our living room, and all the bedrooms are upstairs. And so here's the bathroom. We have one bathroom downstairs. And there's a shower and a toilet. And then we have a sink outside the bathroom, so it's kind of nice when you're getting ready in the morning. You can, like, someone can get ready in the bathroom and someone can get ready out here. And then this is the kitchen. And it comes with an oven, 2 refrigerators, 2 freezers. So it's nice because 8 people live here, so it's nice having 2 of everything. We have a dishwasher as well. We have a sink with both sides and a microwave. Okay, we'll go upstairs.
Follow me.
So I put some photos up here, which I thought were nice. Little decorations. Have some photos of my friends. I'll just open it. Welcome. So this is our room. So this is Emily's side. Oh, this is Emily as well. This is Emily. What's your major, Emily?
I'm a communications major.
Yeah. Some awesome frogs. This is my side of the room. So normally when we came here, the rooms were set up where there were 2 bedrooms on both sides, but we did it so our beds are in an L shape and then we'd have more living room space, which is nice. And it comes with, well, the dresser's not there, but there's a dresser here and a dresser here. And normally people put their dressers inside their closet, so if you don't have a lot of hanging clothes, you can put it right here, it'll fit. But I have my records instead, because I'm quirky like that. Yeah, so, and then it comes with 2 desks, 2 chairs, and yeah, that's about it. So we can go look at another room real quick. These are my other housemates.
Hello.
Very nice. We're doing some homework because we're very studious here.
Yes, we are. Where is it all?
So upstairs we have a sink, which is also on the outside of the bathroom again. And this time we have a bathroom and a shower, so they're separate as opposed to downstairs, which is both. If you want to see the bathroom, it's pretty small. Nice size though. Poopery, important. It's vital in this house. This is the shower. Standard shower. Looks a little a little more prison-y than the one downstairs. So downstairs, normally, like how I said in Lower West, there would be 3 rooms up here and then 1 room downstairs, but here we have 4 rooms, so there's 2 rooms on this side and 2 rooms on this side. And we also have a closet, which is really nice. So you can put all your toiletry items. Some bop and jams in there. So, that is my crib, and thank you for coming along on this journey.
Welcome back. Let's continue with our discussion on the Oscars. Now we're going to talk about the winners. Did you guys agree with the Academy, with who the Academy chose? Or do you think there were any other nominees that deserved an Oscar? I think we all I think we all kind of agree on the best actor.
Yeah.
One here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's with the best actor one, I can't, like, with all of them, I can't really make a decision because I didn't like watch any of them.
I didn't actually see any of them.
So, for all I know, Anthony Hopkins really should have been the best actor. It's just like such an unfortunate situation. And it's like, I truly wanted Chadwick to win out of just like having not seen any of them. I feel like he should have, but it's such a weird thing to go through, especially because it seems like no one knows what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually never. Well, what were you gonna say, Eva?
I agree. I didn't see any of them. So I can't really say. I also think it was a decision to not choose Chadwick. They could have strongly just thought that Anthony Hopkins was the best actor, but at the same time, like, this is such a like controversial time that, like, was that the best decision? Not only is Chadwick dead, but he's a Black man in the situation that we're in right now, and they chose an old white man to win. So it's just like there's things you have to think about. But I have thoughts on other categories.
Yeah. Oh, did you have something to say, Chelsea?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't even think the Academy is really putting much thought into who they pick. I think a lot of them are just kind of like closing their eyes and like picking it and trying to get through it.
I always think about Jennifer Lawrence when I don't remember what like it was, but her mom filled out the form and sent it in, and Jennifer Lawrence was like, "You can't do that." She's like, it wasn't like a people's choice. So her mom filled in like some sort of Academy Award. I don't know if it was the Oscars or the Golden Globes or something. And so she had to like go back and rescind that and get another one so that she could do it. And I always think back to that because I think it's so funny.
Yeah, I find it kind of ironic that all these people in the film industry don't actually know what movies come out during the year unless like you actively campaign your movie to them and be like, oh, this movie should be nominated, this movie should win. So like they really just don't, I feel like they don't watch any of the movies. Like and it's very apparent with like the technical categories that none of them really know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
Like so I found it, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
The sound category was the biggest joke ever. Now, they gave the award to Sound of Metal. And it probably won. I haven't seen it. So I haven't seen any of the nominations. It probably deserved to win, but I guarantee you the only reason why it won is because it has sound in the title.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's how half people voted. If they were just like, I don't know.
They're like filling out the ballot and they're like, oh, the sound category. I guess the movie that's about sound should win. Yeah.
So what you're saying is basically it's all political.
Not really political. Like some of them might be.
Not political as in like politics, but political as in you have to know, like Chloe Zhao campaigned her movie to be in it, is what you're saying. Like you have to like constantly like make sure that you put your name out there and you put your movie, like they're not just going to do it out of the goodness of their heart. They're not just going to watch a movie and be like, oh, I like that one.
Not at all.
Right.
They're not like us. I don't think they love movies as much as we do, to be honest, which is ironic.
And if we like movies, and we're sitting here, we're like, we like this, like we're supposed to watch these movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't seen any of these movies.
So like, how can I like? I don't know. It's just, and like, it's all. I think it's rigged, kind of in a way. And it's
I don't. So we all know ABC is the one that like broadcasts the Oscars. I don't know how involved ABC is with like the production of it and like how it's shown. But I find it very weird how like, ABC is owned by Disney and Disney always wins the animated category every year, except for that one year where like Into the Spider-Verse won. But I feel like that's just because the movie really
I didn't even think about that.
But they always win the category. Now, usually it is because it might not be rigged. It might just be because everyone knows Disney, everyone knows Pixar, so they're always gonna vote Pixar. It's like
Mhm,
those other
mhm.
movies, they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why Spider-Man had a chance was because it was Spider-Man and it was like a
Yeah.
very different animation style. But
What I was about to say is that the only two movies that I saw that were nominated were the two Pixar movies, Onward
really,
and Soul.
Yeah, me too, actually. And so those
Yeah.
are the ones I was like really rooting for
Me
because I
too.
loved them. I
yeah.
was like,
really
I've seen
like
them and I know
Soul.
they're good. I
I
love
have
Soul, but that's a whole other conversation because Tyler
Oh.
will go into a
I
tangent
have a hot
about.
Okay.
take. I actually have a hot take, and it's not related to the take about Soul. I did not see Onward, but I saw Soul and I saw Wolfwalkers, and I actually think Wolfwalkers deserved the award. I think Wolfwalkers was a much better animated film. If you guys
Oh, I'll
haven't
have
seen
to.
it,
When
if you
I
guys
saw the
haven't seen it,
like
the
trailer
what?
thing that they showed is when I was like, I want that one to win.
Wolfwalkers,
Mm.
it's so beautiful. If you have Apple TV Plus, it's on there. You should watch it. It's really good, and I
Mhm.
highly recommend. Beautiful animation too. It's like I feel like not a lot of animated movies do 2D animation anymore, and this was one of the ones that looked really good.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, anyway, we have to move on from this discussion. Now let's join Maggie this week for the MCTV Game Show Spectacular.
On this episode of MCTV's Game Show Spectacular, we're going to be doing a cooking competition, which is just baking while pretending that you're on a cooking show. Begin by spraying the pans. I use Pam, but if you want to be fancy, you could probably butter them. Next, you're going to crack some eggs. This is boring, so don't show much of it. Next, you're going to mix some eggs and sugar. This is where the challenge element comes in. Now my challenge is I have to use a hand mixer because I don't own an actual mixer. Next, show a pretty nature picture. Wait, here comes the intrigue. You have to make a mistake that might possibly ruin all of your baking. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I did that wrong. Blame it on someone else. You distracted me. Now I'm gonna completely fail at baking this. All because of you. Next, you put everything in the pan. I don't need to show you that. If you can't put it into a pan, I can't help you. Nature picture. Next, when you add the finishing touches, you have to rush. Think of new, innovative ways to do it, like sloshing it on with a spoon. Next, you put on the frosting and final touches, and you are done. And it doesn't matter if they tasted good, because no one's judging it. You won. You're the judge. I'll see you all next week.
And we're back. Now it's time for the inevitable discussion of which films got snubbed at the Oscars this year. There's always some that people have in mind every year. So tell me, what films did you guys think deserved nominations but didn't receive any?
I didn't see a whole lot of movies this year, but
Me
one
neither.
movie that I feel like on the technical aspect should have been nominated was Invisible Man. I thought that they did a really good job with that. And it's like one of those things, again, like everyone kind of like overlooks that kind of aspect. Like they don't really look into it. So that's the only one that I can really think of. But I thought they did a great job.
Eva?
2020 was literally such a blur for me. I don't know if I watched any movies that came out in 2020. Like I probably did, but I don't know them because it all happened so quick last year. So I don't know if you guys name a few, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But I couldn't name one right now. There's no way.
So one of my favorite films and probably my favorite film of 2020, but granted, I didn't see that many, so it doesn't mean a lot, was The Devil All the Time that came out on Netflix.
You are right. I completely forgot about that.
I really loved that movie. I thought, and I think it should have at least gotten nominated
Oh, is
for
that
like
the Tom Holland
performances.
movie?
Yeah, the Tom Holland.
Okay, that's on my list.
I think at least Robert Pattinson should have been nominated for Best Supporting Role because he was so like, he was just like so despicable in that movie. You like really hated that guy, and just some of those scenes were like that movie knew how to create like really good tension-filled scenes. There's a scene in a church between Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson that is like it's so good. It's my favorite scene in the movie. But
yeah, I thought for acting and even cinematography all around with that movie, I thought it was really good, and I can't believe I forgot about it. I think this whole year again just been a blur for me. But yeah, I think everyone in that movie did just a phenomenal job. It took the story itself is really well written and really different from what we've seen, I think. So yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's basically like, for those who don't know, it's basically like this movie about like all these different stories and all these different characters that kind of like overlap with each other. Yeah, they kind of like connect all in the end. It's kind of like Pulp Fiction in that way, but it's a lot darker than Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, and it's a very weird take on like a coming of age story.
Yes,
like
I know.
it's like
on like a father-son relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a very peculiar movie, very dark, but honestly spectacular. But are there any other movies you were thinking of?
The one other movie I was thinking of was another Netflix movie called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It was Charlie Kaufman's latest film, and it's not for everybody. It is definitely a very unconventional film, but I think for at least editing, it should have been nominated. Like the cuts and the edits in that movie are and the scene placements, so they're so precise and like accurate that like I can't believe it didn't get nominated. Another category would be hair and makeup. That movie plays around with time a lot, and like in one scene characters will be a certain age, and then in the next scene they'll be like a lot older and they'll really look older. So the hair and makeup really should have it should have not only should have been nominated, but it should have won hair and makeup, I think. And it should have won editing too.
Who did win hair and makeup? I literally forget.
I don't remember. But you know what? You know what got nominated for hair and makeup? Mulan.
I was about to say Mulan did, right?
It bothered me so much that Mulan, like, it was promoted with being all like a whole Asian cast, and then every single one of the crew members was white, and it made me so mad.
Yeah, that movie just pisses me off for a whole bunch of reasons.
I never saw it. I never did. I felt like I was
I've seen clips. I refuse to watch it.
I liked it, but I mean nothing compares to the animated. And then I did think it was really good in visual effects, and I kind of was wanting it to win that. But like I said, I guess I did watch that one. So there are 3 movies that were not Oscar nominated that I watched, but they were all Disney. But yeah, I didn't see the other one, so I can't say that they shouldn't have won. I just knew that one did good.
Yeah.
But I'm also like a TV or like limited series person. I'm not a movie like super watcher.
Yeah, same here, kind of actually.
I'm a huge film fan, but honestly, I just really I don't know what it was.
I do want to watch Minari like a lot.
Oh yeah, me too. Because I really like Steven Yeun. He's what I used to be a huge Walking Dead fan, and then like that's where he really got his big start.
Yeah,
so.
I watched a few seasons of that one.
He's on this show. He's on this show right now called Invincible, and it's so good. It's like a really good animated superhero show. And which is also it was created by the same guy who created The Walking Dead. So it's like
I'm really excited for the MTV Movie and Music Awards. So I mean, movie and TV show awards.
Oh yeah, those are usually a little bit better than the Oscars,
WandaVision is nominated. So
really,
as it should.
What?
I said as it should be.
Yeah, it really should be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we're out of time, guys. Thanks a bunch, Eva and Chelsea, for hopping on the panel this week. More to come when we come back.
Hello, welcome to our first episode of the Bi-Weekly Update. We believe here at the Bi-Weekly Update that the mainstream news doesn't report the news that matters. Our quest is to tell the stories that matter to you. In breaking news this week, the University of Kentucky sent out over 500,000 acceptance letters by accident. It doesn't really matter because no one wants to go to Kentucky. Some students took it upon themselves to send letters back to the school simply reading, "No."
Last week, a race-winning greyhound in New Zealand tested positive for meth. The officials were only tipped off after the dog bit a spectator and left no marks because its teeth had already fallen out.
A giant hare was stolen in the UK. Here at the bi-weekly update, we believe that there is a conspiracy afoot. If a rabbit is so big, it could have just jumped. Think about it. That's the issue with the mainstream media. They don't think outside the box.
An Uber driver in England drove into a canal and still charged the woman £29 for the ride. After asking the driver why, he said, "Well, I couldn't use this for insurance fraud, so I had to make money off her somehow."
A woman has returned a library book that is 63 years overdue. That is a first step on a reunion tour of errands she forgot to do. Next, she'll be finishing her tattoo that is meant to say hope, but now only reads ho.
Last week, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed a bill to make daylight savings time year-round so that criminals have one less hour in the evening to commit their crimes. There's no joke here. That's actually what Georgia Representative Wes Cantrell said in response to the bill.
The world's longest inner-tube water slide measures at around 3,000 feet long. It takes nearly 4 minutes to complete the entire slide, so that the rider can consider their life choices while propelling through a plastic snake.
Wine tasters in France are worried that COVID-19 will subdue their senses and leave them without a job. This would be a problem if wine taster was an actual job and not just a fairy tale that Midwestern moms in their 40s believe is an actual career as they leave their current jobs in droves.
20-year-old photos that were found in a thrift shop were returned to the Miller family. Unfortunately for Mr. Miller, it was given to his second family in Wyoming instead of the one in Kentucky.
Utah police found a Nintendo Switch in a park and beat the high scores before returning it. Mario is now suing the department for robbery after finding all his coins missing. He's also suspicious after finding Princess Peach missing, but evidence is pointing towards Bowser as the #1 suspect.
That's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Maggie.
And I'm Chris. We'll see you next time.
Tonight, our musical guest is Brittany Reinhardt. She will be performing the song Stars in the Moon. Enjoy.
I met a man without a dollar to his name, who had no traits of any value but his smile. I met a man who had no yearning claim to fame, who was content to let life pass him for a while. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life like the movie stars led. But he kissed me right here and he said, I'll give you stars and the moon and a soul to guide you and a promise I'll never broke. I'll give you hope to bring out all the life inside you and the strength that will help you grow. I'll give you truth and a future that's 20 times better than any Hollywood plot. And I thought, you know, I'd rather have a yacht. I met a man who lived his life out on the road, who left a wife and kids in Portland on a whim. I met a man whose fire and passion always showed, who asked if I could spare a week to ride with him. But I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life that was scripted and planned. And he said, but you don't understand. I'll give you stars and the moon and the open highway and a river beneath your feet. I'll give you days full of dreams if you travel my way and a summer you can't repeat. I'll give you nights full of passion and days of adventure, no strings, just warm summer rain. And I thought, you know, I'd rather have champagne. I met a man who had a fortune in the bank, retired at age 30, set for life. I met a man and didn't know which stars to thank. And then he asked one day if I would be his wife. And I looked up, and all that I could think of was the life I had dreamt I would live. And I said to him, what will you give? I'll give you cars and a townhouse in Turtle Bay and a fur and a diamond ring. And we'll be married in Spain on my yacht today, and we'll honeymoon in Beijing. And you'll meet stars at the parties I throw at my villas in Nice and Paris in June. And I thought, okay. And I took a breath, and I got my yacht. And the years went by, and it never changed, and it never grew. I never dreamed. And I woke one day, and I looked around, and I thought, my God, I'll never have the moon.
All right, that's all the time we have for tonight. I want to thank our guests, Zach, our panelists, Eva and Chelsea, and Brittany for joining us tonight. You can see our show on our YouTube page, MCTV HD, and don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. For Studio A, I'm Tyler McWiggin. Stay classy, everyone.